Hello again, everyone. Here I am with the next request on my list. Now, this person is a Life Path 7, and they wanted to know how the Life Path 7 was supported by the Soul Urge number 4. Now, when you look at these two numbers together straight away, you can see some pluses, but a few minuses when it comes to this person's motivation matching with their life path. You see, their soul urge is very much about creating security and safety and stability in this world. That's what they're driven to do. And that's setting worldly goals and achieving worldly goals and doing tangible things in the world to build their safety and security and stability. So it's very, very focused on the real world, or when I say real world, I mean the tangible world that we all see. And it's not so much about looking beyond the veil towards the spiritual, to the hidden, to the intuitive. So the soul urge number 4 could inhibit the 7 a little here when it comes to looking towards the spiritual. However, the soul urge number 4 loves to analyze, and they'd be quite interested in looking into the detail of any research that you may do under the Life Path 7 energy. So some pluses, some minuses when it comes to your motivation to achieve your life path. But let's have a look first of all at what you're here to achieve, where your passions lay, and then we're going to break down that energy. Not before, of course, I've introduced you to my 2 new books, the ones that I spent ages on, the ones that delayed all my videos for so long. These books kind of support my course on Udemy because it teaches people to be numerologists and readers. But if you want to dig if you don't want to be a numerologist and you just want to dig into your own numbers or into the numbers of the people around you, these are interesting books for you to grab hold of. They're quite big and hefty, loads of detail as usual. And you can find them on Amazon by just searching under my weird name, Katie Ewers. And of course, because I'm the only Ewers anywhere in the world, they come up straight away on Amazon. So let's move on. So your Life Path 7, your areas for development. So this is something you find hard. This is something you're here to work towards. So your areas of development to achieve in the 7 energy are to look towards your spiritual side, develop a spiritual connection, develop full trust in your intuition, listen to your intuition, trust it, follow it, and have full trust in your soul's intuitive wisdom. Now, this is a big thing because it makes you a very, very spiritual person who looks to the spiritual before the worldly, but uses them both and actually analyzes the worldly and other people's theories using their spiritual intuitive wisdom. And it's their spirituality and their intuition that has the final word, even when they look at the world around them. So you're here to develop full trust in your soul's stored intuitive wisdom, safe in the knowledge that all experience, both light and dark, are actually lessons for your soul's evolution and learning. You know, we can't just experience the light. We have to experience both in order to learn and evolve. You're here to be focused on your own inner development more than the external. Self-discovery, spiritual development, developing yourself and understanding who you really are as a spiritual being. You're here to be a thinker, a researcher, able to look at otherworldly theories, look at theories of other people in the world, and look at this worldly logic, look at the theory of man, and feed that information through your all-knowing and intuitive wisdom, and pick out the information that you resonate and push aside information that you don't feel that you resonate so much, because you're here not to just follow convention. You're here to be a free thinker, independent. Not to the point where you isolate yourself, though. You're here to be different, to think differently, but it's really important that you as a 7 balance your alone and social time and still connect emotionally to others. That's very important. But it's going to be to others that you intuitively trust as a 7. When you're a motivated 4, your passion, your motivation that must support your life path, and in some ways will and in some ways won't. So you're driven in the 4 to commit to worldly goals, people, places, and anything you need to start to dig those safe and secure foundations for your life, family, career, business. Let's make myself feel safe and secure while I'm living on this earth is very much the cry of the motivated four. You're motivated to achieve your goals and have success and have the money and the love in your life and all the security around you. You're a passionate and meticulous planner of process and procedures to make sure everything's safe and secure and accurate and strong and stable. You're driven to be focused, detail orientated to make sure every step in your build, every step in your plan is taken so that your safety and security is ensured. You're motivated to be analytical, hardworking, sometimes too hardworking, especially if you're a motivated 1, 3, 4. Take care that you're not pushing yourself too hard, first of all, but all fours can work too hard, especially the 1, 3, 4. Analytical, hardworking, passionate, to have perseverance to keep moving past obstacles and overcome limitation, move on past any past pain and still achieve your goals. That is your burning motivation and desire when you're a soul urge number 4. So when we break down the life path 7 into its pieces, we'll see where the 4 helps and where the 4 motivation will need to be stamped on a little bit. Because, if you don't want to do something, you're going to struggle to do it. And in this case, in some areas, you are being asked to go, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I need to. And it will take you on a journey of amazingness if you do. So I'm kind of asking you on some levels in this video to go against what you want in order to achieve your life purpose. So you're here to learn in the 7 to have faith that you're a spiritual immortal soul that has experienced from other multiple lifetimes in the past, and your body now is just a soul within a machine living another lifetime for your soul's evolution. You've lived before, you will live again, and it's all part of your soul's evolution. You're here to learn that base knowledge and to have faith in that knowledge and in all that stored information that you've brought in over all those previous lifetimes. You must trust that soul within you by listening to and following your intuition without overthinking and applying worldly logic. And of course, because it's your life path, this isn't going to be an easy thing for you. So as a 7, especially as a motivated 4, you might overthink things and apply worldly logic a little bit too much. And you need to be looking towards the spiritual, because you need to listen to and follow and trust that intuitive voice within and feel safe enough with your intuition, not just your worldly analysis, to communicate your soul wisdom to the world without fear of ridicule, but most importantly, developing yourself with that information. But as I've said, your motivation in the 4 energy may turn you away from the spiritual world towards worldly rationality and achieving your goals in the real world. You prefer to be practical, organised, goal-driven, wanting to build security like a business or a career or a family that brings you that stability. And you may ignore or dismiss your inner voice and your intuition as just inner chatter or nothing that you can use, which is something you need to change in order to achieve your life path 7. So to support your life path 7, turn towards your spiritual side. Research spiritual wisdom. You're a good researcher and you're a motivated 4. You like to study, you like information, you like learning. Switch it over to the spiritual. Research some spiritual wisdom and spend some time alone listening to your inner voice and trying to understand the voice within you. And assess this wisdom for its truth by trusting it, by spending some time musing in the intuitive voice within and starting to really accept the fact that you have a stored library of knowledge within you that might not be obvious until you start to listen. So you're here to trust, because the world can be quite dark, can't it? And some people can feel quite, conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of dark people in this world and there's a lot of light people in this world. But we've got to accept that. Some people are not so nice. Some people are nice. Some people are for selfish, negative intention. Some people are for positive intention. And some of us are somewhere in between, depending on context. So But as a 7, you can really focus on the dark and think the world is against you and fail to trust the world around you or even yourself, most importantly. So you're here to trust that the world is not against you. It's a mixture of the two. And when you look for the light, you'll find it. When you look for the dark, you'll find it. So the universe is everything, existing in perfect balance. It's like a cosmic library of all knowledge and experience. And we have to experience it all. How can you fully know love until you've really looked at the detail that hate brings? Okay, you can't really fully know the joy and the amazingness of love before you've seen the opposite. Okay, it's all part of our learning and evolution. We must experience it all to evolve. Your 4 motivation energy means that you like to be very connected to the practical realities of this world. You're determined to transverse the worldly obstacles and limitations in the world without seeing them as an attack on you. 4s are very practical and realistic and less in their heads about, the world is, they're more about practical action. They do love to plan, but it's more about planning for their tasks, for their goals. However, though, when you are feeling a bit low as a motivated 4, you may, if your 4 motivation is dropping due to feeling low, you may let the 7 distrust take over and isolate yourself from other people and feel that the world is against you at times. And this can make you feel really low and negative. So to support that life path 7 and bring up your mood when you're feeling low, realize, of course, the reality of the world that you love to do in the 4, but realize it as this: everything existing in perfect balance, like a school of both the light and the dark, to promote your learning and your soul's evolution. That's an important concept for you to take on as a motivated 4 with a purpose in the 7. Your focus in this lifetime is got to be your inner development, and you're motivated to achieve your goals externally. So we might have another little mismatch here. So your focus for this lifetime as a 7 is your inner development rather than your outer development and your goal achievement, to be honest. It's how your experience develops you internally, and how you understand yourself and how you develop as a soul is what matters as a life path 7. It's all about developing yourself constantly with self-discovery, spiritual wisdom, musing, meditating, walking in nature. It's all imperative for you because your purpose is all about developing you internally, not so much about the external. However, when you're looking at the external, it's good to use what you learn in the real world to support your 7 life path, because remember, it's all about your evolution and development as a soul when you're a life path 7. Your 4 motivation energy means that you're driven to build worldly security, stability, safety in the world. You're interested in setting yourself goals, you're relating to your career, your business, your home, your family, and you prioritize that external development and security rather than inward development. You need to feel inwardly secure as well, and that's important. Often you need to feel inwardly secure before you can feel outwardly secure. So it's important that you support that, because for the soul urge 4, you think it's all external. However, you've got to feel a sense of internal safety as well. Otherwise, you're always going to be worrying. You're always going to be worrying that you don't have enough. What if I lose my job? What if my business goes under? What if what if? Okay. So it is important that you develop using your 7 inner security as well as just outer security and achieving goals and getting things done, because they're interchangeable. In fact, inner security is more important. You need that before you can take steps in the world for security. So, these numbers can be brought together quite skillfully. To support that 7 then, set goals for your own inner development. You love to set goals. You like to get things done. Use your motivation here. Set goals for your own inner development, your own inner spiritual development. Use your ability to muse in isolation, which you can do, or your motivation, should I say, to muse in isolation, to research, to think, to meditate and inwardly develop, as you must feel safe and secure inwardly too. I do tend to jump ahead, don't I? So you're here to learn to be also in the 7 a problem solver, a thinker, a studier of the metaphysical, a researcher of the big questions, because, you know, your intuition, you need to support that by what you look at in the world. You'll realise the more and more you research the world, it is actually all within you anyway, because your intuition manages to reconcile everything you learn. So really, all the wisdom that you're learning through research, or think you're learning through research, is clearly already within you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to reconcile it. Your intuition is just marking the information and ticking and crossing what resonates and what doesn't, basically. So to walk that path, to walk that journey, you've got to be a problem solver and a thinker and a studier of the theories of the world, the metaphysical, the big questions. Learn, analyse theories and accrue wisdom, or read that wisdom and think, what does my intuition think about that? You know, is this something I already know as true, or is this something I feel, meh, not so much? And it's important that research happens first for you to be able to put it through your intuition. Otherwise, 7s can split too much from the real world. Less likely as a motivated 4, but there is potential in that. So your 4 motivation gives you an interest in being a thinker and a studier. 4s like to learn and think and study and analyse the detail. But you may not be interested in the spiritual wisdom, especially at first, the metaphysical or the bigger questions, as they serve no practical purpose for your mental or inner security, unless they serve a purpose for your mental security or your inner security or even your external security. So to support that life path 7, prioritise being that thinker and a researcher of more the metaphysical, the bigger, more spiritual questions that you wouldn't normally be motivated to research. Commune again, keep communing with that soul within you. You're here to learn to filter your researched wisdom through your intuition, as I've been going on all the way through this video, so that you can research other people's theories and use it for your own needs, basically using what resonates with you. Because you can be, as a 7, too analytical, and the motivation in the 4 won't help that. You're going to be very over-analytical and ignore your intuition at times. You know, you've got a double whammy of this. I mean, it's possible that a 7 can swing towards totally spiritual and ignore people's theories totally and end up in this deluded world of spirituality where only spirituality and no other can come in. You've got to balance the two. But as a motivated 4, you're more likely to swing towards the ignorance of spirituality than full immersion, just because of that motivation and passion you have to achieve in the external. You're here to be a free thinker. You're not here to follow the crowd. You're here to look beyond the veil. As many 7s are conspiracy theories that look for truths that might not be pushed by this lovely lying media or whatever the agenda wants to push or whatever the billionaires want to push. 7s smell it. They realise that it's all rubbish. Most 7s, it's good for you not to watch the media or it can be quite annoying for a 7 to watch the news or the media because they can smell the lies straight away. So they're free thinkers. They're less interested in popular culture because they smell the lies and it's annoying for them. They're not one for following the norms of fashion and appearance. They look beyond the veil to other knowledge. Sometimes when they're fearful, it's more towards the conspiracy theories, but self-discovery, spiritual development, really understanding who they are. And this can make them feel a bit detached and aloof and almost lonely from those around them, especially those that are really interested in popular culture or really immersed in the paradigm. The 7 can sometimes feel a little bit out of place and lonely from that. Your 4 motivation energy means that you'll not be interested in fashion or popular culture. There's going to be like a double whammy of not following the crowd. And it's not because you want to take risks as a motivated 4. It's that you're just not really interested in fashion and popular culture, really. I mean, you might put on an act in order to feel safe around others, but it's not really something you're interested in. You've got quite specialist interests, and you're likely to have sort of a group of friends that you share your interests with, and it's not necessarily going to be fashion, popular culture, or anything in the mainstream. But you are driven to be safe and conventional as a 4. When it comes to customs and traditions and social conventions, the 4 will be on it like a car bonnet, because it makes them feel safe and stable and secure. So where that's concerned, they may go against the 7 a little bit. And the 7's here to go against norms. The 4 might feel a little bit unsafe to do that, or they might be quite secretive about not following the norms because they're scared of what might happen if others find out that they're looking at or interested in things that aren't the normal paradigm stuff. So support that life path 7 by embracing your task to become aware of the hidden truths beyond the veil, the stuff that this power system hides from us, hidden truths that go beyond the conventional, and then commune with the like-minded people to prevent loneliness so that you're still connecting with others and fully further developing yourself, because it's not just about study as a 7. Experience and socializing also teaches you things for your inner development. So as a 7, it's not all about you just sitting on your own studying. You have to experience things in the world and communicate and connect with others. And this is all part of your learning. Otherwise, you're pushing away half your curriculum of learning for this lifetime. You're here to develop the ability to focus on one thing long enough to develop it into something useful, because 7s, I'm a 7, I know, and we're very scattered. We love loads of different spiritual subjects, and I used to scrape the surface and read loads of different spiritual subjects, loads of different theorists, and I just was drinking in all the self-discovery, all the information. This was when I was a lot younger, and I had books coming out of my ears, and I was just scraping the surface on any subject that I could drink in. But I hid that from my friends, because, you don't want your friends at school to see this stuff. So I was a little scattered, and a lot of 7s are. They struggle to focus on one spiritual or self-discovery subject at a time. I've managed to focus on numerology, woo! And I think my expression number 145 helps me with that. But that's another story. So as a 7, you're here to focus on one spiritual subject long enough to develop it into something to really develop you and other people too. But your motivation in the 4 energy, it gives you the drive and the passion to be focused, which is going to be helpful here. It's about time your motivation helped you out. It gives you the drive and passion to be meticulously focused, hardworking and disciplined, and to dig deeper on each of these subjects rather than scraping the surface of many. So support your life path 7 by embracing your drive to focus, concentrate on one or 2 at a push spiritual or self-discovery topics long enough to manifest it into something that really develops you and something that you can really manifest for yourself and others in practical reality. Really important. You're here to develop interdependence as well, because the 7 can push people away and be fiercely independent and want to go and live in a tree away from everybody else in the world. And this can be quite prevalent for a 7. They're here to develop more interdependence, to go to people a little bit more, connect with people a little bit more, not try to do everything themselves as us 7s love to do. You're here to develop interdependence, self-sufficiency, but also a healthy dependence on other people. You like to do things for yourself, but take care not to push people away and be so independent that you end up, being more isolated, which is what you want to avoid. As a motivated 4, you're also likely to be driven to be independent. So your motivation could exacerbate this pushing people away thing and this I can do it myself mentality. Your love of alone time may make you push other people away, and these energies together may exacerbate each other. So extra care not to be too motivated to be on your own too often, and to look to others for support, because being on your own is not a nice place to be, and it's not natural. We are all interconnected and we need to give and take from each other, and it'll make you a more fulfilled person when you do that. So support your life path 7. Realize that total independence is an illusion. we have no independence. There is no independence. We are all totally independent and interconnected, and you need to embrace that and get right into that to support your life path 7 and really, really stop any prevalent self-isolation that you might be motivated and tendency towards doing. Now, you're here to learn to also, 7s are so emotional. I'm a 7 and I know we hide our emotions and people think we're not emotional at times, but we have huge emotions, like loads of emotions that 7s can often hide from other people and then fail to express, hold inside, and then kaboom, and it's all a nightmare. So you're here to learn to deal with and reconcile your sensitive emotions. Others often think you're aloof, but you are actually a well of deep emotions that you must learn to express, not hold in, not ignore, but express positively by awareness of your emotions and your triggers and how better to express and how better to feel, basically. Because awareness of your emotions is the first step to managing your emotions. So you need to connect emotionally to both yourself and to other people, very important, and analysing yourself like a true 7, your emotions, why you felt that way, why did that situation make me feel that way, and analysing your emotional reactions in different situations, and most importantly, your triggers, what snapped you, what took you into that thought process, what made you react in that way, because it's that analysis which helps disrupt those triggers in our brain and might make us think twice before we express ourselves in a way that is unhealthy, or before we hold emotions in, which is equally unhealthy. So the 4 motivation energy means that you prefer to balance your emotions. You prefer to be calmer, more controlled. This can exacerbate your tendency to hold emotions in and show this outer aloofness and hinder your emotional connection to others. Because you are at risk as a motivated 4 to hold the emotion in, to look stoic, to not show yourself up, to feel safe, to feel stable. Don't let anyone see my emotions. And you can, with your motivation as it is, hold in your emotions rather than express them. And that's important for you to know that, because it's self-analysis and real expression of your emotions that you need. Okay, so you do prefer to balance your emotions, but this can be by holding it in rather than analysing yourself. So that's really important. You want to be calmer, you want to be more controlled. This can exacerbate your outer aloofness and can hinder your connection to others. You may want to hold your emotions in rather than manage and express them healthily. Really important. So to support your life path 7, become aware of and assess all your emotions. Just let yourself emotionally react and then muse and think about why you felt the way you did. What triggered these emotions? What triggered the reactions? So that you can learn in future to understand yourself better and express your emotions more, to gain more positivity, to express them, not hold them in, to express them positively, not negatively. So you have more emotional connection to yourself and the people around you. You're here to learn to balance your need to be alone and work alone, which 7s love to do, with social contact. You love to be alone, but you must ensure that you do not isolate yourself beyond what is healthy. So your 4 motivation energy means you like time alone, and this can exacerbate this energy. You're motivated to spend time alone. You like to spend time with familiar people as well, family, friends, like-minded people. So this could help that, but it does tend you more towards the isolation. So you must ensure that you continue to answer your motivation when it comes to being around other people, friends, like-minded people, family, and even new people, so that you can continue to connect with others and not isolate yourself. So support your life path 7 by ensuring that you maintain healthy, balanced social contact to avoid isolating yourself from the world. Really important. Now, I hope you found this video really useful today. I have links in my box below to my courses on Udemy, my books, and any other useful information you might find useful. So look at the detail box below for information. If you'd like to ask for a video, you can send me an email, contact me on social media, or just put a comment on one of my videos and I will put that on my list. I think I've got it down to about 10, but of course I still have 10 to do, or maybe 9 now. I need to recount. So just give me the request. It will go on my list. It might take me a little while, but I always do my requests. Okay. If you want to ask me a question, if you want to speak to me personally, or have some one-to-one numerology teaching, anything you want to ask, email me, message me. I'll be happy to hear from you. But as ever, guys, as a 7 in my video today and as a 7 myself, trust the soul within you, because only your own intuition knows what's best for you. See ya.